Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced, and today I'm going to show you a game by the women's Grandmaster and also the World Cup winner and the champion here, Divya Deshmukh, with the black pieces, and with the white pieces we have Zachary. He's from the Chess Nerd and he played this game in Spain against Divya when she was an IM. So this game is going to be very amazing. I mean, I'm really excited about this. I hope you are too. And here, just with the white pieces, Zach starts with e4. We have e6, d4, and d5. We go into the French defense. We have e5, going for the advanced variation, and just c5. We have c3, knight to c6, and knight to f3. We have queen to b6, and here in this position, just a3. We have bishop to d7, and the best move was played by Zach in this position, b4, just trying to target those pawns. And here, just c captures. So you just trade in the center. We have c captures, rook to c8, and here just going for bishop to e3. You could also go for a line after rook to c8 with this bishop to b2, because this bishop would be very much nice when when this knight jumps in here, and you will see that later in the game you can use it for attacking purposes. And here after knight to h6, because now you can, because the bishop has moved from this diagonal. And here after knight to c3, we have knight to a5, a very beautiful move, because now you cannot capture because the bishop falls. So here after knight to a4, attacking the queen, and now what are you going to do? You just move it forward, because you can also do this, because here if you decide to capture, I can just simply capture, so you don't want to do that. So here after knight to c5, here I just get knight to c4 in, and here after bishop moves back, now you play this bishop captures on c5, and once that capture occurs, you play this knight jump, because you don't want that knight to capture here and ruin your pawn structure. So here black will definitely have a very fine game. And here, but in this position after rook to c8, bishop to e3 was played, also a very fine move, no issues with it whatsoever, and a very beautiful and a very positionally insane move. I mean, honestly, Divya Deshmukh is an absolute genius, because when I have played French defense a lot, and I've always struggled with this bishop, where to what to do with this bishop in this line, and she finds an absolute genius idea to trade that bishop for this bishop, which is a strong bishop in this position, because this bishop jumps in and that's attacking the queen side. So you have to understand that this bishop is a very strong bishop for white, whereas this bishop for black in this position inherently is a very weak bishop. And she plays in this position just a6. Looks like a very weird move, because why are you playing this a6? But now you understand the real idea here. Bishop to e2 by Zach, and knight to a7, just making some room for this bishop to trade this bishop. And here just castles by him, and here going for that idea bishop to b5. And this, what I call, is a positional genius, and that's what she is. And here after knight bd2, just going for this knight to e7, not trading it right away, because that would bring out the queen, so you don't want to do that. You want to wait your turn. And here after knight to b3, now you play this knight to f5, just attacking that bishop, and if you're able to capture it, you will ruin white's pawn structure, and that will be a very good win. And here after knight to c5, this knight is an absolute beast. You can see that these pawn structures, I mean, that knight is covering a lot of squares, but here, over advanced pieces, you have to use them carefully. And here just bishop to e7, not trading it right away, because you want to wait your turn, because that would come with an attack on your queen. So here rook to c1, just trying to put some extra pressure on that file, and we have just castles. And here just bishop captures, just going to trade that, because either way that is pinned, so you have to be very much careful. Now queen captures. Queen captures serves a very important purpose. You cannot capture with the pawn, because this fork would actually pick up your this fork would have actually pick up your exchange, and you don't want to do that. So that was a very important very important move. And here just queen to b3, but now here just bishop captures on c5, just finally trading that, and we have d captures, and just going for this knight to c6. And you can see that this pawn structure is a bit too over advanced, so that b6 move is definitely going to be coming here anytime soon. But here in this position, Zach goes for the inherent idea on why you play the advanced variation in French defense, which is that why you play the advanced variation is that you want to attack the queen side. Here Zach has all here struggled with the he's playing all these moves on the queen side. That is not something you want to do with the French defense, because you play the French advanced variation because you want to attack the king side. Here, while black struggles with try to keeping up with the queen side, you have to move your pieces towards the king side and attack, because this knight is a very weak knight in these positions, because you have to move it just two moves to get it developed. That bishop and this bishop just hinders development. So that is the idea of advanced variation of the French. So here Zach goes for the idea, but is it a bit too late, because Zach goes for g4 in this position. And here you could capture, but Divya goes for a very nice way to capture, because she goes for knight to a5, and you cannot trade because you would lose the queen. So here after knight to a5, Zach goes for queen to c3, which is also a very fine move, no issues. But here just knight caps on e3, and now here f captures, and you can see that the pawn structure is very much ruined. But you have to understand, when you have a ruined pawn structure and a little bit over advanced pawn, what you want to do is sacrifice the pawn to be able to get some attack in the right position, obviously. But here just knight to c4, and this knight is a very powerful piece. Now here Zach goes for knight to d4, and it seems like a very nice idea. You're putting the knight on a very nice square, although this is attack, but you're also attacking the queen, so you're gonna have to move it. But it's not a good idea, simply because of the fact that here the best move was just queen to d3, just trying to pin this so that this knight doesn't go doesn't wreak havoc. And here after queen to c6, you're gonna play knight to g5, a very nice move, going for that going for that mate. Obviously the best gonna see it, so here just g6. But here after e4, you're getting rid of your pawn, and here after this h6, just pushing the knight back. Instead of just moving the knight back, because that would be a bit too slow, a slow move, you can go for a very beautiful line here, which starts with e captures, first attacking the queen, so you have to take e captures. And now, even now, not bringing the line not bringing the knight back, but going for rook c to e1. I mean, here after h captures, now you could go for this e6, and this is just absolutely beautiful move, because here after rook to c7, trying to defend everything, you play rook to f6, and once you play this, now you go for the e captures on f7, rook captures, but just rook captures. And now you can see that you have to capture this. So here now comes with queen captures on g6, sacrificing an entire queen, queen captures, rook blocks, and here just queen to b1, and now you get this knight to d2, attacking the queen. So queen needs to move, and there isn't a good square. If you move the queen here, then this check will come in and pick up your rook, and that too, that's going to come in with an attack on your queen. So you're going to lose both the pieces, and you're going to be in a completely losing position. And here Divya would be up a queen. So what you would want to do in this position is you would want to play this queen to d3, and only after rook captures, now you play this king to f2, attacking both the pieces. And here after that, knight to e5, but just queen captures, and you would have this endgame where two rooks would be there in the endgame against a queen, which is also always considered better for black, because two rooks would overpower a queen in an endgame, just a queen and a pawns in an endgame. So here that would be a very good way to go, because this is the best that Zach had in this position. But instead he went for knight to d4, and that gives Divya a bit of an advantage, and a bit too much, because here queen to a4, just attacking all these weak pawns, and here knight to c2 defending. But now Divya goes for the plan that was there all along. You have over advanced pieces, over advanced pawns that you cannot protect, so they are going to be a target. Now b6 by Divya, trying to open up this beautiful line where all of these pieces are stacked. And here just c captures, and we have knight captures attacking the queen, so the queen needs to move queen to d4, but now comes this knight to d7, and here queen to b2, but now comes this knight captures on e5. A very beautiful move by Divya, because this is a distraction tactic, because now you have to capture, and this captures will occur. So queen captures, rook captures, and here after rook captures, queen captures, you can see that you get this endgame where you do have, white does have this double pawn, but you can see all of these pawns are very, very bad, and you're also a pawn down. Not only you're a pawn down, but look at the black's pawn side. I mean, if it goes to endgame, once you trade the queens, black is going to be extremely in a completely winning position. So Zach has to find a solution, and he's down on the clock, and he has to do it now. So here just h4, but now comes queen to d3, and here a4, but now trying to push those pawns, but now just comes now just comes queen to b3, and you're going to lose one of the pawns. And so Zach tries to attack on the king side, because now if you're gobbling up pawns, your king side might become weak. So he goes for h5, but now just comes queen captures on b4, and now this will come with a check, so you have to be careful about that. So rook to f4 was played by Zach, but now he missed something, which is this queen to e1 check, and Divya immediately goes for it, queen to e1 check, but king to g2, and here just rook to c8. Now this would be checkmate, so that's why instead of moving the king up, he was supposed to actually move the rook back, which is just not naturally, that doesn't come to you, because first you move the rook up trying to attack the queen, and once the queen gives check, you move the rook back. You don't want to normally do that. So here that's why he went for that, but now he has to move it, otherwise he would get mated. So rook to f2 and queen to b4, just again going for that. So now here just king to g3, but now just comes this h6, just a beautiful defensive move, because now you cannot push that pawn, trying to go for mate, and everything is secure in this position. And the best way to play this for Zach, I know he doesn't have much in this position. Divya is a 4.5 points and in a completely winning position, but definitely it's a blitz game, so anything can happen, and you have to try. So queen to f4 would have been the best hope, because here if you trade, there might be some chances of him drawing in the end game, but it's very, very difficult. I mean, there are just very thin chances. And here after queen to b7, not going for that, just king to h2. And here we have rook to c4 attacking the queen, queen to g3, and once this comes, you have to move the king up to defend. So king to h3, queen to b1, but here just going for this a5. And here after f6, just not allowing anything to ever occur on that file. And here after king to h2, you play this king to h7, queen to f3, queen to e1, and here after rook to a2, you play queen to h4 check. And only now, once the queen blocks, you play rook captures, queen captures, rook captures, and here after king to g3, just rook captures. And this was the only way. And here you are down so many pawns. I mean, you can do you cannot do anything in this position, you can just resign. But here after h6, g5 was played by Zach, but now comes h captures, and here just h6, but now comes this queen to h4 check. I think he missed this one, because here after king to g2, just Divya just gobbles up that pawn. And now you can see that there is nothing for white to do. Here he played queen to d6, but just rook to c1, and this checkmate is coming. And there is not much, not checkmate, but you can move, but you'll be checkmated in a few more moves. But there was no solution, and his time ran out here. Divya played an absolutely spectacular blitz game. In the entire game, she had complete control, played the absolute best move or second best moves, and won the game in just 39 moves. That's absolutely amazing play. And here, definitely in this move, when she played that a6, she definitely taught me a few things as well, because I have always found it difficult to actually develop that bishop, and now I'm going to use it in one of my blitz game as well. Hopefully you can do that too. So you definitely know that she plays well. When analyzing her games, you can learn a few things as well. So thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you all.